Live from Drama Shop with Zach Flock. Tonight's Alaska. Jessica Flock. And musical guests Rebecca Coleman and Kate Thiem. Featuring Alaina Manchester. And now here's Zach Flock.
Hi, everybody. It is Saturday, March 13th. I am Zach Flock, live from Drama Shop for show number 9, and what a big show it is. So I do want to recognize, of course, 1 year ago this week, the world shut down and everybody was forced to stay home. We introverts have since learned to be careful what we wish for. It was this time last year that we at Drama Shop started to pivot to online programming. No joke here, I really want to say how much we miss having everybody here in the theater and how much we are looking forward to getting back together, getting back to it as soon as we can. I did hear there's a new scam hitting Erie, so be on the lookout, folks. Apparently someone created fake coupons for COVID vaccines, and they're actually selling them to local families. Obviously not cool, but as far as scams go, I gotta admit, that's pretty smart. After all, no one in Erie does anything without a coupon. Pretty soon it'll probably be a school fundraiser. A mother on TikTok shared a sweet story of her 5-year-old daughter, Charlie, who wrote a persuasive essay to get her parents to change her name. Charlie would like her parents to call her Charlotte. Meanwhile, I'm struggling to get Jess to call me the Sorcerer Supreme. Daylight savings begins at 2 a.m. Spring forward and set your clocks ahead 1 hour. Spring is the bad one because you lose an hour of sleep. And even worse, if you set your clocks ahead and watch this show, you actually lose 2 hours. Wednesday is St. Patrick's Day, which of course means one thing: Shamrock Shakes are back. Who's excited? The return of Shamrock Shakes has resulted in long lines at many McDonald's locations. My milkshake, on the other hand, brings all the boys to the yard. Boys, you're going to have to leave. Shamrock Shakes, McDonald's version of colonoscopy prep. It's been a few weeks since we made a poop joke, and I figured we were long overdue. We have got a fantastic show tonight from RuPaul's Drag Race and co-host of the Race Chaser podcast, actor, singer, entertainer, and our friend Alaska joins us tonight. Plus, you've seen her on the Drama Shop stage in title of show, Angels in America, and our inaugural production, Reasons to Be Pretty. My wife, Jessica Flock, is on the show tonight. Musical guest Rebecca Coleman will join us. She was actually unable to record a new track for this week, so we're going to show you her incredible performance from Far But Not Apart, our concert that we did over the summer, and we will try to have her on again in the future. Also, Kate Thiem, who was our musical guest last week, is back with an encore performance, and she's joined by some friends as well. But first, let's check in with your friend and mine, the legendary Alaina Manchester. Good evening, Alaina.
Bestest eveningest evening to yourself, sir.
Yeah, this is a big one.
I mean, I say it every time, right? We're excited, but I'm tickled pink.
Yeah, our first 8 shows, there was no point in watching, to be perfectly honest. But this one I feel good about. Yeah,
I mean, we had a good dry run, like a good test, a good dress rehearsal. So
sure.
This is the moment. And if I sang, I'd sing the song, but I don't sing. So thank you.
I think you've got a lovely voice.
Aw, thanks. I think you like to flatter. And I like that about you.
That's the closest I'm going to get to a compliment, so I'll take it. Hey, so you're going to stick around for 2 reasons. One, you're going to join me in my conversation with Alaska, but also you'll come back at the end of the show, as you always do, for Ask Me Anything. So, folks, if you have questions for me or Alaina, ask them right there on Facebook or YouTube, and we may just answer your question.
One of these sides here.
Comment below.
Yeah, there it is.
That's how the tubers do it.
Yeah. These Gen Zers or whatever. Yeah. Anyway.
All right, Alaina. Well, we will check in with you very soon. Thanks so much for being here. We'll catch up with you in a minute. Big show tonight, folks. When we come back, the one and only Alaska, joins me live. Stick around, more to come tonight, live from Drama Shop.
Hi, I'm Kate Thiem, and I'm happy to serve as a Drama Shop board member. Our 10th season has been unlike any other. We've done our best to pivot to safe delivery methods, but we've had to scale back our usual production schedule. In a season of limited ticket sales, your donations are more important than ever. Your support helps us pay the rent, cover expenses, and keep Drama Shop moving forward. There's a lot more to come this season, so head to dramashop.org and show your support for theater in process. Patrick? I need more wine!
A Storm is Coming. Natural Shocks, a play by Lauren Gunderson. Streaming live from the Drama Shop stage April 16th, 17th, 23rd, and 24th at 8 p.m. and Sunday, April 25th at 2 p.m. Each performance is 100% live. Bold, innovative theater streaming from our stage to your home. Tickets available soon at dramashop.org. Lauren Gunderson's Natural Shocks. What will you do when the storm rolls in?
All right, folks, my first guest tonight is an international sensation with roots right here in Erie. You may know her from season 5 of RuPaul's Drag Race, or as the winner of RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars season 2. Maybe that's a spoiler, but it's been out there for a while, folks. Come on. She also hosts the podcast Race Chaser along with Willem. Please welcome the one and only Alaska. Hi, friend.
Hi, how are you doing?
There it is. I'm good. How are you?
So good.
It is so great to see you and to talk to you. It's been a couple of years, I think, since we spoke last. I think it was actually Ms. Alaina Manchester's wedding. We'll get to that in a little bit, but let's start with Drag Race if we can.
Okay.
So you were on...
It's so weird hearing you call me Alaska, because it was always Justin. Call me literally whatever you want.
All right, Justin.
Okay.
All right, I'll call... okay. That's the whole show. It's just us. Is that the Golden Girls as superheroes?
It is. It is.
That's so funny, because one of my memories of you is actually watching the Golden Girls in my old college, post-college apartment. So
I remember.
Yeah, I remember parts of it. So I want to talk to you about Drag Race. You were on season 5, but you did try to get on the show for a few seasons before that, right?
Well, every season before that, yes, I did.
Yeah. And then, you were selected for season 5. I would love to go episode by episode, but I suppose that's kind of what your podcast is for. But let's talk about that first episode if we can, because it started off with an underwater photo shoot, right? And it it didn't go particularly well for you, did it?
Yeah. Oh, I see what kind of interview this is. Ripping off the mic pack.
First of all, how dare you?
No, it was horrible. First of all, okay, look, I don't, and first of all, Bobby Manchester is Alaina's dad, and just say hi in the comments. And he says, looking good, Justin. So thank you. Thank you, Bobby.
Back at you, Bobby.
Bobby knows, Alaina knows, everyone knows that I'm really bad at swimming. Okay. So when it comes to like going underwater, that's like as far as it goes. Going underwater and modeling, opening my eyes up while wearing plastic hair and a plastic bag. It just wasn't happening. It wasn't happening.
Well, and again, I don't think we need to worry about spoilers because it's been out there for a couple of years, right? But ultimately, and if someone is worried about spoilers, I guess turn off the show because here they come. So you did make it, despite that first, that bumpy start to the season, you made it to the final 3. Yes. How confident were you that you were going to make it that far?
No, I wasn't confident at all. I was convinced I was going to go home every day. So I was really just, I was in a constant state of terrified anxiety the whole time.
Well, if it's any consolation, those of us who know you were terrified right there along with you, rooting for you, but, you know, terrified along with you. Then, of course, you came back in season 2 of All Stars. And as I said in the intro, you were crowned the winner, so everyone else can just sit down and shut up. I know, though, that you, I would imagine, over the course of the season, you develop close friendships with a lot of your competitors. And you're literally competing against the All-Stars. So what is that experience like?
Oh, it's horrible. Oh, it was absolutely, no, it was horrible because it was like in life, you want to go through your life like being friends with the people you work with, because that's like human nature. And then you're thrown onto this show and you're like, people are like, how dare you be friends with people? You suck. So it's like, it was very emotionally horrible and very confusing. But I mean, I won. So
something went right,
I guess.
Yeah. So let's go back. Let's really dig in now. Let's go back to where it all started. And I want some help here. This is where we turn it into therapy, right? So I would like to bring in our mutual friend and my own personal drag makeup artist from Moby Dick the musical, Alaina Manchester.
These are the days of your life. Okay, wait a minute. Do you remember you called me when you went to your first audition for RuPaul's Drag Race? Do you remember? Okay. It was like 3 p.m. in LA.
Yes.
You called me. I got my phone call and you were like, Alaina? And I'm like, yes. And you were like, listen, right now I have to talk because I don't know where I am and people are looking at me and I'm dressed as Alaska right now. And I'm like, what time is it there? There's a time difference, but oh my God. And you're like, and so I remember we were talking on you were on like a public transport and you were like, I don't know if Alaska's auditioning or if I'm auditioning. And I'm like, well, should somebody have told you that before you, and you're like, I'm just going to go for it. I'm like, yeah, go for it. Just go big, go. Yeah. Do you remember that?
I remember that audition. I don't remember calling you in a panic, but it was it was my first audition with RuPaul's Drag Race, and it was the worst audition I think I've ever had.
Was it a callback? It might have been a callback, like more than once or something. I was living in Rochester, so it would have been like 2007.
It was like they came to see our show and everything went wrong at the show. But afterwards they were like, you've got to come in, honey. You've got to, you're perfect.
Got it. You've got it.
You got it, kid. And so we went, Jeremy and I went, and I just remember we were just like, we were in this little closet of a room and they turned the camera on and they were like, so who's Alaska?
Be fabulous.
In 3 words. And I was like, I looked at Jeremy and he was just as scared as I was. So we just became like a reflection of each other. It was horrible. It was very, very bad. We blew it. But you know.
Obviously you guys go far pretty back. Alaina, give everybody the history here. How far back do the two of you go?
For the beginnings of time, we crawled out of the primordial ooze. We went to, I think we met in middle school. Right, we both went to Westlake.
We did,
and then and we went to high school for like a year, and then Justin switched high schools, and then but we still like spent every weekend at each other's houses. Or what? Oh, look at you, just bigger.
Taking a cue from Alaina.
We used to date. We used to be an item. Everyone, okay? We did.
So, and my understanding is you actually went to prom together.
Many proms, some of them our own.
So there was a several-year period where the two of you just went to proms on a regular basis.
It was like wedding crashers. But
yeah, I believe we have a photo. Do we have? Look at that.
Ooh.
You look so cute. Okay, so
look at your hair.
My hair was a whole wild moment.
I like those triangle bangs. was desperately trying to suck in my arms, which is not something the human body does.
No,
but I was still trying to do that. So me.
First of all, we look sickening. Okay.
We do. It's a crime.
This is all you're doing because you have exquisite taste, Alaina.
Well, it takes one to know one, so thanks.
The pants that I'm wearing, if you look at the pants.
Yeah, let's talk about those pants.
Okay, my mom was insistent that I go to a tux place and do the tux rental. This was my senior prom. Okay, so the top part of the tux is from the tux store. I managed to get a ruffly blouse. I was very happy about that. But the pants they gave me were these really tight at the ankle, like tux pants. And so when I got to, and these horrible like wingtip shoes. And so when we got to Alaina's house, I ripped off those horrible pants and those shoes, and I put on my Converse All-Stars and my old man pants that were cut up the back. Mm-hmm. We went and we had such a good time.
It was so much fun. That was my prom. That wasn't, because your prom, you won Prom King.
Oh wait, that wasn't my prom?
No, that's my prom. I wore a terrible dress to your prom.
You did?
I totally did.
Alaska, what was it like growing up with Alaina?
The best. I'm just so grateful to have had a best friend in you, Alaina. You're literally the funniest single-handed person on the planet on the whole planet.
On the planet of the Earth.
I'll second that.
You taught me how to be funny. You taught me how to put on eyelashes. You taught me how to be a good fucking person. I love you so much, and I keep thinking, like as they were playing the clips leading up to the show, I kept thinking of things that are jokes. Chicken and a biscuit.
Chicken and a biscuit. Oh my God. Okay. So it was many inside jokes. This is not fun for other people, but I'm having a blast.
No, watching the two of you, I think, is fun.
We were on a bus. We were on a school bus. We were on a school bus going to a field trip or something.
We were going to Cedar Point. We were going to Cedar Point.
And did you?
Justin was.
The person in charge was just like screamed at everyone. It was like, all right, this is the time you need to listen. These are the important details. Okay. And Alaina comes from the front of the bag to the back. She's coming at me with a box of crackers. And she's like, chicken in a basket. And I'm like, what? And she's like, chicken and a biscuit. Because it was the funniest thing to us. For some reason, chicken and a biscuit was chicken and a biscuit.
The best part, the only relevant part is that by this point, Justin did not go to our school and we snuck him on.
Was that what happened?
Oh, that's great.
Yes.
I don't remember the important shit at all.
So, Alaina, I'll ask you the next question then. Knowing who Alaska was, who Justin was then, and seeing now Alaska as an artist, as a performer, are you surprised?
Oh, fuck no. Excuse my language, but not at all. If we're going glasses, like, you're going to lose this game. But
yeah. All right.
Yeah. I don't know what you started.
But no, I'm not surprised at all. Like, Justin has always paved his own way. He's always been true to himself. I remember when I was younger and like my mom said to me, she was like, you know what I like most about Justin? I was like.
And she leaned in.
She leaned in.
She does.
And she said, he always has a nice thing to say to every single person in the room and he means it. And I was like, yeah, he does. And I've taken that through my life. I've used that, especially at auditions when I'm nervous. I will compliment people. And Justin, I think about Justin.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
I think Justin is.
Justin, you know, having met you through Alaina, you know, in college and knowing you, you know, before Drag Race and interacting with you now at, you know, at Elena's wedding, I think was the last time I saw you in person when we were at the same table. And you haven't changed, you know, and I think that's one of the great things about you is that you are that same person that Alaina described, and you know that's great, and so I applaud you for that.
Fabulous actor, by the way. Like we never got to act with each other than like when we would make like fun little movies and stuff. But I'd love to. I think you are. I remember going to see you in Pittsburgh when you went to school for theater, and you are a fabulous physical actor. You are amazingly funny and so smart, and you can see in every single thing that you do. You're such a good actor.
Yeah, we saw you in what was the show that we saw at Pitt in the basement of the Cathedral of Learning.
Oh, you were the bug?
Oh, the Ichneumon fly.
Your physicality was just mwah. It was so good. Your physicality is always so good. Awesome breath work. Great eyebrows. Good skin.
How has your theater training? I'm trying my best to like steer to some actual questions. I love you guys, but you know, how has your theater training, do you think, influenced what you do as a performer as Alaska?
Oh, like so much. Like I feel really grateful because I get to be, you know, I get to use my degree in theater arts, and that was I couldn't get into any of the schools that were like the strict like acting programs. But I went to Pitt where you have to do a little of everything. You have to do like set design and costume design and direct a little and drill lights drill set pieces together. So like I'm really grateful, and I feel like I get to use that all the time.
Yeah.
Doing like drag.
So where did Alaska come from?
Marijuana.
Okay.
Like fully. It's first of all, Alaskan Thunderfuck is the name of a strain of weed, and that's where I stole the name from. And then I don't know, I was smoking a lot of weed when I first moved to LA, and I felt really like an alien, like I didn't belong there. And so I think it like beamed itself into me that Alaska was like an alien who was like lost. You've
always been into aliens though.
Mm-hmm.
Always, you know, it's that Pisces thing. And like and like but and also the comics, and not to tell you, I will tell you where she came from.
The show is yours, Alaina.
The comics that you used to draw, Justin drew the most amazing comics. We would all he would draw them, and they were his stories, and he create this character. There was this evil character, evil Allah, and very Alaska in there. When I write my dissertation about it someday, I'm going to point out.
Yeah, and you did like an animated version of it too, right? Or did I imagine that?
Yeah, it was Flash, right? It was like cartoons. They were so funny.
I remember those.
And it was that same like humor.
Yeah. And I hope that they never get unearthed, because I'm pretty sure the humor is very inappropriate.
Probably.
But it was called the Power People, and we were like, our group of friends were the Power People, because I grew up on the Power Rangers, and so it was like a sort of angsty teenage version of like the Power Rangers. And the villain was named Allah, and she had huge black eyes and huge like hair, and wore these slutty gowns, and she was a fucking demon. So yes, that is what I've become.
So tell us about the podcast, if you will, after you take a drink.
Well, it's Raz Cranberry.
Look at you, LaCroix boy.
Oh my gosh, right?
The podcast, let me tell you about the podcast. The podcast, we look at Drag Race and then we talk about it. And it's something that we started sort of just for fun because we wanted to go back and revisit the early episodes of Drag Race. And then once a new season came on, we were like, why can't we? I wish we were talking about the new season. And then we were like, well, we can. There's no rules. So now we talk about the current seasons when they're on, and when they're off, we go back and look at old ones. So we're constantly talking about Drag Race, which I honestly do anyway all the time.
So for someone who maybe has not watched Drag Race, first of all, how dare you? How absolute dare you? But would you advise, if they want to watch and listen along to Race Chaser, should they watch the show first and then listen to an episode, or what's your advice?
My advice is put on an episode and then put on an episode of the podcast while it's playing. That'll be the best way.
Sort of a mystery.
If you play it backwards, you open a portal.
Backwards.
Ow.
All right, I'm just going to withdraw the question.
You Xerox a mirror.
The answer is yes. It will probably not really make any sense if you don't have a reference point to Drag Race. Though I don't know, it might. Because Willem's really funny. My co-host Willem is really funny, and you could probably just listen to him talk out of context, and it would be really fun.
Yeah. Well, friend, it has been so much fun to watch your career take off, and I can't wait to see what you do next. I also do want to note that Alaska will be hosting our pop-up Poe special, which we'll talk about. I know, Alaska, we haven't really filled you in just yet on that, but we'll talk. We'll get it sorted out. It'll be great.
Yes, and right? There's a theater training. Yes, and.
It's going to be really great. So that's coming up on April 3rd. Thank you for doing that. Alaska and Alaina are both going to stick around for a game with me and Jess. But first, we'll take a quick break. She performed this back in June for our online cabaret. It's a song from Title of Show about falling in love with theater, and it feels really relevant in a year like this. So please enjoy this performance from our friend, Rebecca Coleman.
Dancing in the backyard, Kool-Aid mustache and butterfly wings, hearing Andrea McCardle sing from the hi-fi in the den. I've been waiting my whole life to find a way back to that. I aimed for the sky, a 9-year-old can see so far. I'll conquer the world and be a star. I'll do it all by the time I'm 10. I would know that confidence if I knew a way back to that. So I bailed on my hometown and became a college theater dork. I was eastbound and down, moving to New York. So I crammed my life in a year.